Good evening, I am Robiodopio, and welcome back to another Horus Heresy Legion's deck guide. Tonight, we are covering the most tragic deck, covering our glorious hawk boy, Sanguinius. You might think, oh, Robio, Blood Angels are super meta, you must be winning all of your games, and also, you must be evil. Evil, questionable. Maybe, maybe not. But, it is not looking good so far. However, this match we're going to have to take a look at. So, the basic deck circuit. Sanguinius, recently buffed, unstoppable in Reckoning. His Reckoning is -1 cost whenever a troop or a friendly infantry or Astartes dies. And what his Reckoning does is give him Requiem, gain +1 attack, and 2 energy, deal 3 damage to the enemy warlord. That +1 attack is permanent. Now, the deck is half focused on general Blood Angel shenanigans and half focused on his Requiem. His 1 energy trigger the Requiem of a friendly troop. So, we start out 0 cost escape vent. This is used for your Ile Janus. Sneak attack, drop pod, and landing stun the enemy warlord. So, this is used for, well, technically it can be used for any infantry or Astartes. It just depends on what you need it for. It is included for Ile Janus, and if I had a second copy, I would probably be running it. Dracaeus Squad. Flank, and if your opponent has no troops, gain fast. 2-1 for 1 energy. Not bad, especially when you can give +1 attack to adjacent troops when you attack. A 3-1 for 1 energy. Not half bad. Fasadian Infantry. Backlash. Draw a card. 1-1 for 1. It's useful for card draw. Harem Squad. Requiem. Deal 2 damage to a random enemy. 2 energy, 2-2. This is pretty good. If you had the Blood Angels mission, which would 100% be included in this deck if I had it, this would be pretty good. Getting early ticks down on the mission. Imperium Secundus. Choose an Astartes from Ultramarines, Blood Angels, or Dark Angels. Add it to your hand. This is a nice thing for filling out for various roles that may not be covered either in the deck in general or something you might need reflexively. Judgment of Angels. Give flank to a friendly Astartes. Draw a card. Very useful. Lectitio Divinitatis. Draw 2 cards, your opponent draws a card. This, as a Primarch, you are not getting much starter card draw, especially with high initiative. You are in mad trouble in terms of cards. You will be starved. So, you need card draw consistently. Lectitio and Fasadian Infantry help facilitate that, as well as Judgment and a few others. So, Righteous Zealot. Cultist, 2-2 for 2. With Backlash, put in play a 1-1 Wounded Zealot. This allows you to do things like get multiple procs off of your Requiem in a row. Or not in a row, but multiple procs off your Requiem for a single investment of 2 energy. A Prophecy Revealed. Deal 1 damage to all enemies and they lose stealth. For each enemy killed, draw a card. Very good. It's a defense, or not defense satellite, it's a informant network, but better. Next up, we've got Bell's Fire. It's a 3 energy, 2/3 with flank and cleave 1. Nice if you're trying to get extra damage all across the board. Very useful. Furioso Squad. A 3/3 for 3 energy. Already good on its own. And with the Requiem, gains Berserk and +1/+1. This combos really well with things like Ball's Fire, or Dracius, or any of your other troops, because if you're swinging, it's happy to get all that attack and health. Hermia. Give your Warlord friendly drop pods have +0/+1. Draw a card. This is another just great card draw, implemented widely and with use of things like Host of Angels and the other various drop pod troops throughout. This lets you get more out of them, allowing you to actually get their landing abilities to trigger regularly. Last Stand. Give +1/+2 to a friendly troop. If it is an Astartes and your only troop, give it Bloodthirst this turn. This is pretty good. You can give something like, say, Elijah. He becomes a 6/4 with Bloodthirst if he's your only troop. Very good. Madidas. Drop pod, 4/3 for 3 energy. Already very good stats. And landing, put another Madidas squad in your hand. This is an excellent recursive troop, especially when you're getting the Hermia. You can have something that the enemy Warlord can't smack down, usually, with the exceptions of things with +1 attack, like Angron, Kabanda, or Rom. Very good. Red Thirst. Give +1/+1 to your troops. If they have Requiem, give them additional +1/+1. Also very good. Sergeant Arvin. Requiem. Give +1/+1 to a friendly troop. 3 energy, 2/4. If you use your ability, it becomes a 4 energy, 3/5. Not half bad. Barabbas Rhino. This is sort of one of the few front lines I have in this deck, just giving something in terms of front lines to use. Front line, 3/4 for 4, with the 2 energy, put in play 1 Harem Squad. Which, just as a reminder, is a 2/2 Requiem, deal 2 damage to a random enemy. 2 copies of Elay Janus, Sneak Attack and Drop Pod, with the landing ability, if the drop pod survives until your next turn, stun the enemy Warlord. Very useful. McCormick's Reapers. Backlash, if it's your opponent's turn, return to your hand, maximizing the amount of damage you can keep sustaining for all your Requiem abilities. Shock Assault. It's a 4 energy tactic, deal 4 damage. If target dies, give all friendly troops +1 attack and +1 health. Helps you keep on top of things. Kill things. Fun. Vineman Veterans. 4 energy, 3/4. Requiem gains Berserk and +3 attack. So that can become a 5 energy, 6/4. If you're using your Warlord power on it. Angel's Tears. A staple of the Blood Angels decks before and after the Sanguinius buff. Requiem. Deal 3 damage to a random enemy, and 3 energy, deal 5 damage. It's a 4/5 for 5. Very good. Dawnbreaker Cohort. Drop pod and Unstoppable with the landing effect, gain Bloodthirst this turn. 6/5 for 6 with drop pod. Very good. Good stats. I mean, when I say very good, just out of the blue. Save-in Terminator Squad. It's a 4 attack, 6 health for 6 energy. This is one of the other front lines in our deck. It's not good stats, but with the Requiem ability, gain +1 attack and +2 health. So this can become really scary, if it is allowed to. Spear of Telesto. 2 copies, destroy an enemy troop, -1 cost when a friendly Astartes dies. You've got a lot of Astartes in this deck. That's more than half. Well, discounting the vehicles, the troops are more than half of your deck. So you're getting a lot of reduction on this thing's cost. Host of Angels. Put 3 Clonatus squads in play, which are 2/2 with drop pod and landing, give +2/+1. And lastly, we have the Crimson Paladins, rounding out the deck as a high-cost card. When another friendly unit is attacked, deal 3 damage to the enemy warlord. With the Requiem ability, gain Survivor 2. This can get really sticky and really punish the enemies if they do not have a hard removal. Now, let's take a look at the only victory I've had with Sanguinius, which is, I will admit, this is less gathering of evidence than my normal playthrough. Let's start with Arion Mercivore, our one victory. And then next we will cover a hard defeat. And then after that, we will cover the Sanguinius on Sanguinius mirror match that I lost. I play Hermia early. I'm swinging face trying to burn him down, because I know he'll get Battle Honor Survivor 2 if I drop any of my squishy things early. He heals. He continues healing. At this point, I'm baiting him into the card draw because I know. Oh, and then of course he has the Sarian squad, because Ultramarines have the freest mission in existence, except for maybe Raven Guard, but even so, I still think it's the more free of the two. Playing Imperium Secundus, getting a Petronius squad. This will come in handy later. We play the Matidas. We give him the cloak, and we take out one of his squads. He gives +1 attack. He swings face. And then he uses draw 2 cards and a random enemy with stealth loses it. I now have another Meditas squad at hand. I activate his Requiem ability because it's better than just swinging face on my own. And then I leave this all here. He has to work to get my stuff down. And he does. He burns the Trajan to get rid of my Angel's Tears. And he heals again. So, we land another Meditas squad. And we land the Rhino, giving him a front line he needs to actually break through before getting to my squads. He gets the deal 1 damage to a random enemy, and it gets lucky. maximize the usage of the Requiems. And then I throw out another one of the 3 damage shots. And he is now forced to sacrifice because he didn't pick swing priorities well enough. He now has to sacrifice that 8 attack. Now we play another Petronius, and we play a Magnetos. And we have now once again maintained board state, which means he will be getting plenty of courage procs, as much as he is using them. So we start out with Electitio, getting some card draw, seeing what we've got. We hit him with my Petronius, and then I hit him with a Shock Assault. Deal 4 damage and +1/+1 to my board. He gets the Miatis Cruiser. Could have been worse, that could have hit face, but now it only hit one of my troops. And now he swings again at my Magnetos. Gets up to Survivor 8. We drop Furioso. We drop Last Stand. We play Judgment of Angels. And then we play activating his Requiem. He gets his mission, and he gets the courage trigger, so he is likely going to swing. And now he is back up to 8 health with Survivor 2. And he now gets his recursive squads. And, more importantly, he now has McCragg's Honor in hand, at a minimum one of them. We swing, we soften up the Censure squad, and then we swing the Drukeus into it, giving my Crimson Paladin Survivor 2. He plays Ardentian. He's now down to 5 health. Now it is time. Spear of Telesto, getting rid of the Spartan Assault Tank. And then Red Thirst. Just for a bit of a show. Take him down, and then we swing face and win. Now let's look at one of my least favorite warlords to fight against. Aloseri of the Dark Angels Legion.
I am my father's son, and always will be.
Let's not make the enemy wait.
Aloseri's ability bothers me considerably. It's just so useful. Which I know, coming from someone who's currently playing Sanguinius in this meta, that's saying... that's a pot in the kettle black, you know. But, yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that, man. I'm not drawing any of my 2 or 3 energy cards, so I just swing face, trying to wear him down. He buffs all the Deathwing in his hand and deck. I play the McCormick's Reapers. All the Astartes in his hand get +1 attack and health. And he takes out the McCormick's Reapers for the low price of a single 3/3. Next, we play the McCormick's again. And we soften up the Astravel. Then, of course, who should get flank but the now 4 attack Proctorinius, who now gives +2/+2 to a random troop in hand. How fortunate. Then we play Escape Vent, trying to let that landing actually get off. But he plays Ravenwing, and so I lose stealth. And he gets the trade. And he also got flanked from his Warlord, by the way, so he just gets to keep the all enemies lose stealth back in hand again. Not that it matters, I don't have a second copy of it. But it's the spirit of the thing, you know? Play a Prophecy Revealed, get a card draw. That's now an 8/9. At this point, the writing's already on the wall. You can see how that 8/9 is going to be messing up anything and everything. But look, another thing with flank that is perfectly suited for getting buffs upon buffs upon buffs. And I believe at that point, yeah, I resign. There's no recovering from that board state. And now, to round out this dark and depressing Sanguinius story, much like the ending of Sanguinius is, let's see what happens when you fight an objectively better deck. Going second.
I am my father's son, and always will be.
We fly on righteous wings.
He has the mission. I do not. I've got nothing to play first turn, so I just pass the turn. He plays the Harem Squad and uses his thing, already getting a perfect tick down on his mission. I have a feeling this will become a common sight. We play counterattack, and we swing. Oh look! Perfect ramp. He now has a 4/4. We play Janus. We escape vent. Swing face, and then let both of my Populi take out the Furioso squad. We get down an Angel's Tears while he can't react properly. And we clear out his Meditas to prevent him from taking out the Elia Janus. He plays Shock Assault and kills it anyways, but he does it on an empty board. Next, we play the Save-In Terminators. And we begin smacking face. I believe we do not swing with our Angel's Tears because we are not stupid. He gets off his Requiem trigger. We play the Matidus squad, and then we play the active ability on our Angel's Tier. We buff up using our Requiem trigger on the Terminator squad. He then swings and he uses the Crimson Spectre, healing 4 energy, or healing 4 health. If he hadn't done that, I would have won the game. We buff this man up with Last Stand. Let him swing face twice. Just giving card draw at this point. And then we pop a Lecticio. Swing again. I really should have swung first with that as well. That one is on me. I decided to do that at the last second. And then, oh joy of joys, another Harem squad, and that's his mission complete. Again, an objectively superior deck, but I'm also just plain kinda stupid. So, we'll call it a draw. Play a Ball's Fire. I should have swung face first. But instead I just don't swing. He gets Survivor 5. And now he can draw 4 cards for 2 energy. Say, that's a pretty good looking 4 attack Clonetta squad. Oh, haha. He gets to draw another 2 cards, and he swings at that Clonatus. At this point, we play the Clonatus once more. McCormick's Reapers, the +1/+1 to your troops, and the Spear into that man. I am tired of his card draw. We get rid of his big troop. Get rid of his slightly smaller troop. Get rid of his smallest troop. Now that's a pretty high attack. So that's an 8/14 now that he played for 8 energy. Sanguinius becomes pinned out.
The flames of humanity.
We swing the Clonata squad first to get the buff up to lethal to get rid of that guy. And now I am a 5 attack, 25 health. swing face. He's down to Survivor. He's lost his Survivor. He plays DSATs. He rolls rather poorly, so I mock him. But of course, doesn't matter. Because, well, you know, he just draws the cards he needs. And so I had several instances where I messed that up. I could have played better. But yeah, that's what facing a mirror match with a better deck looks like. So, changes that I would make. Number 1, mission. Add it. I can almost certainly find something to remove. In fact, I think I already know which one I would remove. I would remove the Barabbas Rhino for that. Next up, we're going to go with the Blade and Carmine. I know exactly what I would remove for that. I would remove the Vineman Veterans. If I had it, of course. This deck is less RNG dependent than the last few decks I have reviewed, being the Alexis Pollux and Janisha Krole. However, I just don't have the cards I need to complete it yet, and I will undoubtedly only get them right before they're nerfed once more. On that happy note, it is the end of the video. I want to thank you all for watching. I hope to see you all next time. I am not decided what the next deck will be, but you will find out in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. One last look at the deck. And have a great evening.